This is a report of a Viking river cruise through the Rhine Gorge from Bacharach up to Koblenz in Germany in 2022. Bacharach means altar to Bacchus, who is the Roman god of wine. The town and its wine date from Celtic and Roman times. In the front, along that row of buildings, is a brick market tower, which is one of the entrances into the town. Above it, the Winter Chapel was built in 1426, was never completed, and the ruins are a town landmark. And next to it is the steeple of St. Peter's Church, completed in 1269. It's a late Romanesque style Protestant church with a French Gothic influence. The castle is a 12th century fortified castle. It stands on a crag and offers a commanding view of the Lorelei Valley. Built on the orders of the Archbishop of Cologne, it was destroyed in the late 17th century, but rebuilt in the 20th, and is now a hostel. Some old walls. Bacharach is famous for its Riesling wine produced. The local ice cream shop even sells Riesling ice cream. More grapevines, all vertical, no horizontal. And this is
In 1807, Napoleon sold the castle as a stone quarry, and it was restored 70 years later, and it's now a hotel.
Gorgeous. All the vineyards and vines.
The castle was built in 1327 as a toll station. Gun bastions, the turrets, and the Baroque-style tower cap were added later. This fortress was never conquered or destroyed by marauding armies or even the forces of nature. Tolls continued until the Prussians took control in 1866. Today it's a museum and you have to take a ferry to get there.
The hill we see also another castle, and that is the Schönburg castle. It was first mentioned in history between the years 911 and 1166. From the 12th century, the lords of Schönburg ruled over the town of Oberwessel and had also the right to levy customs on the Rhine River.
This was a wreck, and then in the late 1800s it got restored. Hotel and a restaurant there now.
The church which you see there dominating the landscape, it is called the Church of Our Lady, and it dates from the year 1331, with its tower rising 244 feet.
To the port side, there's the church. Here's an old tower. There's a yellow one. Over here we have defensive walls.
On top of the hill, that is actually the Lorelei Rock. It is 433 feet high, and there the river it's at its very narrowest, just some 370 feet. The concentrated current is so strong that it has eroded the riverbed to a depth of 89 feet. Until recently, rocks extended from the spur to the Lorelei into the river, but these rocks have been removed by a mixture of drilling and dynamiting. To make matters worse, the river executes a sharp bend here, and the captains have to contend with whirlpools and dangerous crossings. All that in mind, is not surprising that a legend should grow up here of a young enchantress who lured sailors into their doom here. And these
make a sharp turn here, and I can see water that looks like it's swirling around, and the Lorelei is around the corner.
A very nice castle, and that is the Katz Castle. Count Wilhelm II of Katz and Lembogen built the Katz Castle in the second half of the 14th century in 1370. The Katz Castle was used as a bastion and a military base to protect Rheinfeld's castle opposite the river. Together they formed a fortified bulwark with a barrier for levying the river tolls. The extended view up to the bend of the river at the Lorelei was also of great importance to secure the salmon fishing here in the St. Goar area. Due to its intentionally chosen location on the mountain ridge, Katz Castle could not possibly be conquered from the valley. Only after the invention of firearms did the Katz Castle had to be reinforced. The Katz Castle was bombarded in 1806 as well by Napoleon and rebuilt in the late 19th century.
The Lorelei is a 443-foot high rock. Its name means murmuring rock due to a small waterfall that creates a murmuring sound. A myth evolved about a siren sitting on the cliff and distracting sailors with her beauty and song, causing them to crash. The myth was so famous that many artists have used it in novels, poems, songs, movies, and even TV shows. This 11-foot tall statue of the Lorelei was installed in 1983.
And that is the Rheinfeld's castle. And these days it's partly ruined, and it was also slightly destructed by the French troops in 1797. It is the largest castle overlooking the Rhine and historically covered 5 times its current area. While much of the castle is a ruin, some of the outer buildings are now a luxury hotel, wellness center, and a restaurant.
There's that big castle, partially restored, part of it not restored. It's a nice place right next to it too. The Mouse Castle. Never destroyed, the castle suffered damage during World War II, which has been repaired. Today they host an aviary that is home to falcons, owls, and eagles. Flight demonstrations are held for visitors in the summer. I don't think this is even on my map. And this is the end of the Middle Rhine that is so scenic with lots of castles. We're in Koblenz, and there's a gondola that takes people up to the Ehrenbreitstein Castle. That is the name of the castle that's up here on top of the hill. And the way you get there is on those gondolas or foot it.